I'm out to pick up some supplies at Unique's, and I stopped. I said, oh, I'm gonna have grits. So I went to this place on the way, and the lady was like, you know, and it's not like I do this all the time. She says, grits with butter? Yep. This is all coming down. This is an old garage, and this is all gonna come down. That wall comes down, that wall stays, that goes, this goes, this goes, and then I've gotta build a deck that'll come out here and go back to there, and stairs over there, and all kinds of fun. So today we're going to talk about, well, drones and the FAA and what potential new things they're going to come up with. And this pertains more to the US. There's going to be some changes for all kinds of people who fly drones in the US, whether you are doing it just as a hobby or you're going to do it commercially. So we'll talk about that later. Okay, so I said we were going to talk about the FAA and drones and stuff like that. So for those of you who don't have a drone or you're not interested, this probably won't pertain to you. But there was just a new bill passed given to the FAA. And so now they have to write some new drone rules. So it hasn't been, that part's been done, but the rules haven't been done. And I think this is a two-sided thing. So right now, like here in the Bahamas, I have my drone registered with the government. I have it registered in the US right now with the FAA. And you know, you register it, you pay a certain fee. I think it's like $5 or something like that. It was nothing outrageous. And you apply for certain, you know, rules that you have to abide by. No big deal. But what this has to do with is there's so many drones out there now. Now, I try to, as you guys know just from watching this, try to be really responsible about that, really safe about it, watch out for airplanes, and especially down here, because not everybody abides by that, you know, 400-foot rule. Because, see, manned airplanes are supposed to stay above, I believe, 400 feet. They're not, you know, other than taking off and landing kind of thing. So that airspace is part of the thing, that 0 to 400. And part of it is a safety issue. So that a lot of people are potentially doing things that they shouldn't, which would contribute to potential accidents or problems or stuff like that. You know, I actually watched a video the other day of what happens, not like a Mavic, but like a Phantom size drone hits the wing of an airplane, and it basically just tears right into it. So picture that also, you know, tearing right through the windshield of an airplane. The wing, okay, probably could still fly, but went through the windshield, could be way worse. So, you know, I'm not opposed to the safety aspects of that, of having to have some type of requirements to fly them, even if you're a hobbyist. Right now, if you're a hobbyist, you can pretty much, you know, fly. You got to stay away from airports. There's certain things, but nothing too extreme. What they're going to do, I'm not quite sure. You know, I'm thinking that what they're doing on the safety aspect is for like the hobbyist people, they're going to have you take a basic knowledge of aviation type stuff about airports and airspace and stuff like that, how to handle your drone or model airplane or whatever it happens to be. But they're also probably going to try to get the drone manufacturers to put in certain aspects to sort of take that out of the drone owners' hands, such as putting in maybe, and I don't even know if that works with planes, I don't know, other people who know about planes could tell me that. If there's a drone, if the drone has like some kind of transponder thing, so there's a plane nearby, the plane would know there's a drone or something, I don't know, or they'll program into it that there's certain places and certain things you can't do or go near or stuff like that. That would be one of my guesses as to how that works. And again, I'm not opposed to that safety aspect. I mean, most of the time, sometimes I fly pretty close to the 400 limit just to get a big shot. But most of the time, the stuff you see me filming is anywhere from 30 feet to 100, 120, that kind of. I'm not that high. If a plane's down that low, and around here I have seen them that low, when they buzz the beach or something like that. But that's, you know, there's nothing I can do about that. So that's what I think they're going to do, is potentially have hobbyists take a test type thing, pay a fee, register their craft, blah, blah, blah. Also have the drone manufacturers put into the programming certain aspects. The commercial one's going to be the same. If you do anything, if you make any money using your drone, then it's a commercial aspect, and you're going to have to take a whole new set of rules, pretty much like it is now. If you make any money off your drone, you're supposed to take it's like an unmanned pilot's license. So you have to know all kinds of things about airspace and a whole slew of stuff. The second part of this is that I think is, and this is just more of a prediction than anything else, is that airspace between 0 and 400 is basically, other than drones and model aircrafts and stuff like that, unused space. Remember, manned aircraft up here, nothing here. And I think you're going to see in the coming years that that airspace is going to get used more and more by commercial drones. So maybe instead of having your package delivered by the UPS man or the FedEx guy or whatever, there'll be drones flying around that will all automatically be programmed to avoid each other and drop packages at your house, or, you know, different stuff. Ah, that was what was getting me. Little pricker things. Can you see it? Yeah, there it is. I hate these things. And I think that's part of it, because when you look at the commercial aspects, money rules. So if these guys are saying, you know, in the next 2, 3, 5 years, whatever, we're planning on having fleets of these things delivering stuff or whatever it happens to be, and we don't want these unorganized people popping up in our flight paths and crashing our commercial drones that are delivering packages or whatever they're delivering. So I think it's both of those things why these new regulations are going to start to come to be. And I can't remember how many hundreds of thousands of drones there are in the US. But when you think about that, that's a lot of people. And a lot of people using drones. Now, how many of those, you know, just because they bought it doesn't mean they're using it. How many of those people are actually using it? I would actually bet you fairly low, because you have to be in the right place, you have to have the right conditions, and I don't think it's probably that many people out of that couple 100,000 or whatever it happens to be. So, but I still think they're going to, good, more of the little buggers. See, you see them? Yeah, they stick to everything, those things. So that's what's coming with the FAA and drones. Exactly what? I don't know. We'll see. At least down here, it's not quite as technical, and I'm sure it's just going to get worse in other parts of the world. And eventually it'll get worse here too. That's